Hi Virgo friends. For those of you who have been here before, welcome back. And for those of you who it's your first time, welcome. I'm Denise. This is Surrender to the Flow Tarot, and I will be doing a mid-monthly general reading for the collective of Virgo. That's any placement, any of the 11 will work. Okay, so the way that I do mid-monthlies is they are divided into decans, and decans are, every astrological sign is divided into 3 parts called decans, 1, 2, and 3. Depending on when your birthday is, determines which decan you fall into. So for Virgo, decan 1 is August 23rd to September 1st. For decan 2 is September 2nd to the 12th, and decan 3 is the 13th to the 22nd of September. So I will be pulling cards for each decan, and I'll do a full reading for each one. Want to let you know that every single reading, all of the decans overlap and they all tell one story, so it's worth watching all of them. Just FYI, you do you, whatever works for you. I will have timestamps with the dates in the description box below, so that if you want to just watch yours, you can just click on that. I recommend watching from now all the way through till I start the very first decan pulling the clarifying cards, because I'll pull for 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll talk a little bit about 1, 2, and 3. And then in that, you'll know if you want to watch all 3 or just yours. You feel me? And then you can go from there. But whatever works for you. Okay, so we're starting with the Linestrider Tarot. And then we'll clarify. We're either going to use the Elle Qui Oracle or Tarot or combo. Well, that all gets determined during the readings. You know how it goes. Okay, so are you ready? Decan 1, August 23rd to September 1st. We're going to, I forgot to tell you, the question I'm asking is, what can you do to raise your energetic vibration right now and for the remainder of the month? So Decan 1, August 23rd to September 1st. Here we go. The Knight of Cups. Open heart. Open heart. So this is about unconditional love, love of self, love for others, and having an open heart and an offer. Decan 2, which is September 2nd to the 12th, is the Fool in reverse. That is a delay due to trepidation of, there's resistance of being fully open. There's something delaying your next part of your journey. So we'll figure out what that is. And let's see, Decan 3, September 13th to the 22nd. Why is my nose suddenly running? Apologize. What is happening? What's happening? Okay. Decan 3, September 13th to the 22nd. What is going on here? Okay, the 7 of Swords. That is deception. That's betrayal. That's deceit. That's taking something that doesn't belong. So we'll have to see what that is. Okay, so on the split for all 3 decans is the High Priestess. So this is intuition based, and the Hangman. It's about shifting perspectives so that your intuition maybe has space. And on the bottom is the 10 of Pentacles, and underneath that is the Lovers, and underneath that is the Sun. Okay, this is about a relationship. It's about your ultimate relationship, and not just with someone else. Whoever is with you is going to be a partner and is tied into your legacy. You guys are going to build it together. It's important. It's important for you to have an equal partnership. It's also about you on the path to fulfilling your own destiny, to fulfilling your own abundance, to being the provider of your own abundance, and being a source of your own stability. It's all of those things, but it's definitely about listening to your intuition, and it has to do with having an open heart. So here we go. If you're interested in seeing all the ways that can develop, I would watch all 3 Deacons. If not, we're going to get started on Deacon 1, the Knight of Cups, August 23rd to September 1st, okay? And we're going to use tarot, and we're going to use the Tarot of Curious Creatures to start. Okay, what can you tell Virgo, the Virgo folks in Deacon 1, or whoever resonates with Deacon 1, about the Knight of Cups and what they can do related to the Knight of Cups to raise their energetic vibration right now and to maintain it for the remainder of the month and forward. The Star in reverse. The 2 of Wands. Okay. It's almost like maybe you feel like you're kind of fighting with giving up on a dream. Giving up on the idea that anything good will ever come to you. 7 of Wands in reverse. Something is happening right now. The Knight of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Cups. That's the universe, as Chris Reck from Minopon says, that's the universe saying I meant what I said, right? The Wheel of Fortune underneath the Knight of Cups. So this is about your destiny is in play. It's spinning, right? The wheel is source, the power from the universe, and it's just our job to get on it. And when it gets all screwy is when we're on it, but we get dizzy because we averted our attention. You know what I'm saying? Or we get nauseous, or we try to get off, or we get scared because we're not being present and we're not being true. Our energetic reserve is depleted in some degree. And on the bottom is the 8 of Pentacles, which is about becoming a master alchemist at yourself, at whatever your goal is, and at yourself so that you can achieve what that goal is. So something is going on around you that has caused you maybe to temporarily, or someone for there to be a separation. There's some kind of separation. There's not complete unity right now. And it's for you to reground and regroup yourself. You're at a transition where you need to make a decision about staying in your comfort zone or moving yourself out of it. The universe is right here ready to hand you everything you've wanted. There's work involved, right? But it's here. And you need to have an open, vulnerable heart from a steady, grounded place, right? It feels like you've been like feeling like you have to like prove yourself, and it feels like you're about to give up on it. Like that's what's holding you back. You're holding yourself back, and it's some kind of belief, but it's also from exhaustion. You know what I mean? It's from exhaustion. So be kind to yourself. We're going to pull an Elle Qui. Okay, Deacon 1. Oh! Well, we'll go this, and I'll pull one more. Jenna, she who calms, stillness, purity, and quiet. Because that one wanted to come out. Okay, I'm going to shuffle once. Well, at least once. All right, my Virgoians and who are resonating with Deacon 1. Let's see what your Elle Qui card is. Renee, she who hopes. About love and relationships, but we know that already. Okay, Virgo. Oh, no, okay. Jeez, not easy. She who whispers, Conchicha, secrets, confessions, confidant. On the split is she who radiates, Geneva, knowing, ambition, confidence. And on the bottom is she who loved once, blue, fragile, secret love, rejection. So yeah, we're going to read all three of those. And we're going to start with blue. Blue, this is underneath, right? This is the bottom, so this is like underneath it. Has a sad demeanor because she is thinking about someone who no longer accepts her love. She wears a golden wreath on her dark hair and clasps flowers to her heart. From her glance, you can see she is feeling lost and alone now. The delicate dogwood flowers are meant to be given to someone special, but Blue hesitates in offering her love again. This card encourages you to explore your own feelings of vulnerability, the Knight of Cups, right? Twice. There's always a risk in revealing your emotions. If you have a secret love, it can be a thrilling thing as much as a terrifying one. If you tell them how you feel, how will they respond? Will they appreciate your declaration or will they walk away? The only real way of knowing the answer is to hold out your gift. That's literally the Knight of Cups. Let this card remind you that you weren't meant to love only once. If you suffer the anguish of rejection, so it feels like this is what you're afraid of underneath, is that you're going to be rejected if you open yourself up, right? Allow yourself time to heal. When you are ready, pick new flowers. Face the world head on so others can find you to offer you their love. Here are questions for you to ask. Who are the people I trust to love me? In what ways do I feel vulnerable? How can I best protect my fragile heart today? Okay, so what came out for you is Jenna. We're going to go there. Jenna walks beneath a wintry sky. Her wise companion, the owl, follows her. There's peace here in the stillness of the trees. Her dress, made from the feathers of the white peacock with a delicate overlay of Queen Anne's lace, echoes the quiet purity of snow. This goddess is a ghost to some, to others she's a trusted confidant. Jenna sees and knows all who revel in her wintry world. A whisper of a cold breeze against the cheek is her kiss of thanks. So it feels very much like intuition, source energy, being aware of that. And it could also be if you have a passed on loved one. Messages that they're signs that they're still with you. Do you feel me? Their energy is still present. Jenna appears in order to honor the pause. Come to me, child, she quietly calls. Come to me when your days are too full. Come to me when noise overpowers. Her gift is calm companionship. An intimate walk on a snow-quieted day will be your reward when you answer her call. She and her whisper-winged guide want to show you the benefit of carving out a few peaceful moments for yourself. This lovely spirit of Winterland beckons you to join her for one still minute. Focus on your breath. Appreciate all that we have in this one simple moment. Pause to give thanks for this calm respite. So it feels like gratitude, to start with a gratitude feels important. And maybe it's a reminder for you, for yourself. And it could be something that helps ground you. Having like a practice of a gratitude practice. Definitely it's suggesting meditation, right? Stillness, periods of stillness so that your intuition has space so you can hear it, to quiet all the other things out. Which in your case is part of your own thoughts and your own fears, you know what I mean? So the questions are, can I afford 5 minutes to merely sit and breathe quietly? How will I benefit by taking a few minutes right now? How can I make this a daily practice? Okay, and Conchicha. I don't know how to say these. Conchicha, she who whispers, knows how to keep a secret. You won't pry anything from her lips. She is the quintessential vault who holds all the lies and all the truths of the world. Her smoky quartz headdress helps remove negative energy, so possibly get some smoky quartz or work with it if you already have it. In fact, it is said to transform it into positive energy. Wait, It is her role to hear all the confidences of all who come to her. Consicia, Latin for confidant, never judges. She simply listens. This card reveals that all of us have secrets. It may be time to release yours now if they have become a burden. This could be unprocessed trauma for you, and it could be that. So, hugs if it is, okay, that it's coming up and it's time for you to like be vocal about what happened. If you are concerned about being judged, look into your own heart first for compassion. It could be about something that you've done. It could be anything, right? This thing that's holding you back, this thing, whatever that is in there that's making you feel unworthy at your core. Sometimes we convince ourselves that our secrets are uniquely deep and dark. When we expose them to the light, we may discover others with the same fears. If someone has entrusted you with their secrets, honor their confidence. Here are your questions. What are my secrets? What would happen if I shared my secrets with others? Who can I trust with what I value most? Okay, Deacon 1. So the way for you to raise your vibration is to be open, wide open, but rooted. Not wide open and chaotic, reckless, wide open, but still maintaining balance and presence and grounded in reality, right? And part of that for you is the work you have to do to get yourself there. Those parts of you that are still battling with yourself, right? Those parts of you, that decision that you haven't made yet quite, to step fully into yourself and to let yourself become and receive. Okay, Deacon 2, we're moving on. September 2nd to the 12th. Let me reshuffle. The Fool in reverse. You don't want the Fool in reverse. That is, if it's carrying over from Deacon 1, that's not having made the decision yet to let yourself take that leap of faith, to like start, to actually not just say I'm going to take it, but to start moving in it, right? There's a halt to it. So let's see what that is. I think we're going to start with tarot on that, and then we'll pull an LT, I'm sure. Can't imagine that we won't. All right, let's see for Deacon 2. Again, September 2nd to the 12th. What is this about the Fool? What can the Virgos who resonate with Deacon 2, what can they do to raise their energetic vibration related to the Fool? What do they have to do to make that, to raise their energetic vibration? The Three of Swords in reverse. That is this pain that you have been carrying for a long time, is to not let it be what is dictating your movements anymore. The Three of Wands, which is from Deacon 1, the Two of Wands is a decision needs to be made, and the Three of Wands is you've made it, and now the action is needed, right? The action, just follow through with it. The Four of Wands, which is a successful merging of two formerly separate entities into one, right? Commitment. It's about commitment. The Lovers sideways. So it's about trusting, not carrying, recognizing what you're still carrying. The High Priestess. I'm going to pull another one, even though the Five of Pentacles. Okay. The Two of Swords, which is aligning your, and the Queen of Swords. So if you have Libra, you don't need to. The Lovers is Gemini. The High Priestess is Pisces doesn't have to be relevant at all. The Queen of Cups, so we're talking about Empress energy, is underneath the Queen of Swords. So this, and the Two of Swords, and here's the Eight of Swords. And the Knight of Pentacles is under the Eight of Swords, and you are the Knight of Pentacles, Virgo. Okay. The Two of Swords is literally aligning your Queen of Swords and your Queen of Cups, your King of Swords and your King of Cups. It's literally aligning both. It's when there's an imbalance, and so you're stuck more in your head and you're thinking, and you could even be discerning, but you're using your brain to think when what you need to do is know, be in a state of knowing where you are grounded. And the way that you do that is to be open heart, so that your third eye can be open, and they come together and keep you wide open but grounded at the same time. You have to still have your roots. So this is you still working. If you didn't watch Deacon 1, watch it. And then I would watch Deacon 3 too, probably, yeah. Working on the High Priestess, which came up on the split for all 3 deacons, is coming up here, going into the reverse, because you are still letting this feeling of not being good enough. There's doubt. There's just self-doubt. And there's self-doubt. And I think there's a comfort that you feel with identifying with all of the sad. It's familiar. You might not even, that might not even be cognizant. Like, you might not even be aware. Look into why does the pain from the past still dictate what you're doing? Do you feel me? You gotta discover that. Like, what hold does it have? Why are you still going there? Is it because it's a habit? Do you know what I mean? Is it because you feel more comfortable there? Is it because there's still something that needs to be healed? What is that? Do you know what I'm saying? It has to do with a commitment and a relationship with a soulmate. What I think is that you have one. You're in some kind of relationship. There is someone, and there's some kind of, there's a disconnect. I don't know if you're separated. I don't know if you're together, but there's some kind of disconnect there. And on your end, it has to do with your past and your self-esteem and those kind of things. Do you know what I mean? Makes sense? Okay, let's pull an Elle Qui for you. Hot and cold. Menopausal. Welcome to your 50s, people. Okay. We're going to pull an Elle Qui, which are very dope. Let's see. She Who Frees, Carly. Liberation, unrestrained freedom. On the split is She Who Knows, Yelena, wisdom, clarity, resolution. She Who Knows, right? Two of Swords, knowing and being. She Who Regrets, Eclat, battle, victory, bitterness. Okay, so this is all about the ways in the past that you have shown up, what you have chose to be in a battle with, what your battle style was, knowing what battles to choose and what battles not to choose, and the ones you use that you do choose to be measured. It's not always, you don't have to be combative and fighting and defensive. It is about being mindful of who you are, of what your needs are, how they're not being respected or met, and how to say it. Say it in a way that honors you, right? Maybe it's just something with your combat style that needs to be looked at, and you'll know what that is for you. Okay, so let's read She Who Frees, Carly. Carly demonstrates how useless it is to try to bind her. She stands barefoot on the rocky shore, her hair blowing loose from the confining headband. Birds swoop overhead. The waves break upon the rock where she perches. Nothing can contain her. She has made the decision to be free, so free she will be. Her wrists bear the marks of the shackles. She will always remember the lessons of wearing them, but now she tosses the broken, useless chains into the water. It is it's taking the power away from these things that have these wounds that you've been carrying and these false beliefs. It's taking the power away and being fully you, right? Fully open, but still being measured in your groundedness, okay? Don't forget that part. Within the waves, there's almost an electrical pulse as Carly's energy sets her loose. This is a being who will not be restrained. The message of this card is that you face a challenge only you can answer. Will you remain obedient to the chains put upon you, or will you cast them aside to live the liberated life? It's important to remember sometimes bonds are accepted. You should also understand you can change your mind about those restraints. You are at a point where you can end anything you feel holds you back. Do you hear me? You're at a point where you can end anything you feel holds you back. It would be wise to examine the chains thoroughly, though. Who holds the other end and who holds the key? It's exactly what we were just talking about, right? Here are the questions. When did I first notice that I am being held back? What would real freedom feel like? What chains do I yearn to be free of? Okay, Deacon 2. Deacon 3, which is September 13th to the 22nd, you got the 7 of Swords. Well, that is about thievery and betrayal, dishonesty, withholding. So we're gonna pull tarot on that. We're gonna use the Lightseers. Let's see what that is, because the universe would not want you to be in that energy, I don't think, to raise your vibration. So let's see. Okay, what can you tell Virgo about the 7 of Swords and how that relates to raising their energetic vibration? The Page of Wands, the Queen of Swords, which is right there too. That's standing, that's being your truth, seeing clearly, being rooted so that you can see clearly, being unshakable in it, and a new, exciting, something that stirs your soul, that you feel deep, that gets you excited about participating in, that coming your way as a result of standing in your power. Interesting. The 8 of Cups. Okay. The 8 of Wands. The 8 of Cups is what came out, and it's sideways going into the reverse. So this is when there is something that you have been tied to, and it is tied to your heart. Your heartstrings are tied to it. And it has been painful and long, and there's beauty in there, but there's more sorrow, and it hurts more than it doesn't. And you're stuck at this 8 of Cups, but where you want to get to is the 10. And you finally are at a place where you recognize it's not doing you service anymore, and you're walking away toward the sun, toward your last 2 cups. You feel me? The 4 of Pentacles is having enough and things being like, okay, but it's settling. Again, you're at the 4 when you want to be at the 10. You're settling at the 4 instead of going to the 10. So part of this is your own idea of yourself and your self-worth and what you're worth and your fear of succeeding, maybe. You know what I mean? And part of it is feeling tied. So part of it is you holding yourself back, and part of it is someone else that you're tied to, or a set of behaviors that you're tied to. Do you feel me? Or a set of, like a obligation you feel like you have to someone still. The world. That is the completion of a cycle. So this could be about not letting all this negative energy and these false beliefs and these wounds steal yourself from you. That could be what this is. The King of Swords going into the reverse. That is an energy of, the Queen of Swords is being the truth. The King of Swords is enacting the truth, right? Is someone that you can go to for guidance and count on. And this is something that's not That's something you're not sure about you can trust, if you can trust or not. So the King of Swords is Aquarius, but doesn't have to be. It could be any air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. It doesn't have to be any of them. It doesn't have to be masculine, but it's that energy. So that looks tied to this, to the Seven of Swords. There's something with whoever this King of Swords energy is with you. I feel like it's the Eight of Cups. Do you know what I mean? It could just be the way that the relationship has been needs shifting. That needs growth. Do you feel me? It doesn't have to be that you're necessarily walking away from the person. It can be walking away from the behaviors. And if the behaviors don't change, then it's also walking away from the person. Let me see what's on the split. The Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, and the Strength. Yeah, which is a test from the universe of your will, of your will to pull into yourself, your reserve, and understand that you do have what it takes to get through whatever this is, and that whatever this is, you have to do that. It's partially divine intervention, and it's you working with the divine. You have to pull in from your own source first. Do you understand? You have it within you to do it. Does that make sense? And it's going to lead you to your wish fulfillment. Yeah. All right, I'm going to pull an Elle Qui for Deacon 3. And then we are finished. Virgoians. You ready? Renee, again, she popped up before. She Who Hopes. It's about love. It's about being solid on your... It's like the Nine of Pentacles, which is you, Virgo, the mini Empress. Being fully solid in your sense of self. And if you're alone, that's cool. You know you're not alone. Like, you don't need to be in a relationship. You want to be in a relationship eventually when it happens. It's having that kind of mindset. It's not codependent. You know what I mean? It's there because this is an experience you want to have, you're choosing to have, and you're both fully committed when it comes up. But you're totally chill without it. You feel me? She Who Flies, Valaris. Dare, do, reach. And the bottom is She Who Emerges, Kamala. Enlightenment, mindfulness, rise up. All right, so we're going to read both. We'll start with Kamala. Kamala is the physical embodiment of the lotus. With her feet sunk firmly into the mud, she rises up clean and pure. From her hands, the lotus blossom tumbles back into the muck, where it will regenerate once again. Kamala's gaze is on the flower held aloft in her hands. In the lesson of mindfulness, we talked about that, we learn to give our complete focus to one thing at a time. So that might be important for you. Maybe you're putting it too broad and you need to have it be more focused. Maybe it feels overwhelming because you're looking at things like too broadly instead of one step and then the next step. Her enlightenment comes when Kamala realizes that, like the lotus in her hand, she too will eventually return to the womb of the earth. Living a thoughtful life takes full engagement of self. The message of this card is to become present. The future and the past are neither here nor there. Imagine yourself to be a sacred lotus rising from the mud. Know the value of your growth as you emerge into the person you are meant to be. Worrying about what is to come withers you. Regret over what has been diminishes you. Open to being born into this moment. Follow a deep breath into your body. Feel how the air permeates your being. Enlightenment comes as you become known to this present moment. So one of the other deacons, Deacon 1, had Jenna Elle Qui, which is about meditation and stillness and having those moments of quiet. So if you haven't watched all three, I would watch all three deacons. Okay. Maybe I'll stop separating them with timestamps. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think that it's important to separate them into deacons because if I just did one reading, it would only be one of these, so that it would resonate with less people because it's only showing one side of a picture. This way it shows three sides of one picture and all of them overlap. Do you feel me? But if you only heard one, it might not really resonate, even though it is your story. You feel me? So any thoughts you have on the format, I would love to hear them in the comments. No worries either way. Questions. How do I feel right now? What is the value to me of being present? How can I cultivate more mindfulness? So there you go, Virgo. I hope that this helped. Thank you for coming and sharing your energy with me. And thank you for coming and holding space for me while I attempt to translate the energies and the messages coming through for you. Until next time, about 2 weeks at your monthly March reading. Okay. Bye, Virgo. See you then.